last 2 days we are covering local purchase, interstate purchase, and local purchase with discount on product value. Okay, how to give a discount? Normally Tally allows you to give a discount percentage wise you can give a discount, but we have seen how to give a value discount for the particular product. Okay, and how to enable the particular discount in a ledger. Okay, and then we have also enabled how to have a cash discount on the particular invoice, purchase invoice. Next, we have covered a single ledger with multiple HSN code and multiple tax ledgers. We have also covered this. It's a local purchase only which we have done. So it's a single ledger with multiple HSN code and taxes. What we have done is we have enabled a tax and HSN code in the ledger level. Even though we have enabled 5%, during my course of transaction, my tax percentage and HSN code is changed. So what we have done is we have created a nature of classification. With this, we are giving a new HSN code and tax percentage. We are overriding in a transaction level. For this, what we have done is I have created a classification from here by pressing Alt C. Fine. So, for example, I'm just giving another product call. Okay. Nature of classification I'm not giving. I've given tax. It is going to be say 12%. Okay. So this is what we are doing. We have done this. Okay. So printing and stationery, a single ledger with multiple tax and multiple HSN code is covered. Next one is we made a unregistered purchase. We made a purchase from an unregistered dealer. The tax and everything is enabled. Since it is unregistered, when we create a ledger, we are given a state as Tamil Nadu. We have also configured the registration type as unregistered. So based on this, our transaction shows purchase from unregistered dealer taxable. Right? A small recap we are doing it here. Once you make this purchase, we need to make a reverse charge for this. So we made a reverse charge entry. Okay. By clicking the start adjustments here, GST increase, we are increasing the liability and we are paying the tax amount to the government first and then we are taking inputs. So this is the entry we are passing it. Here we need to say it's service. It is actually a goods actually. So I've saved this also. Right? Then we made the payment. When we make a payment, on the right hand side, choose the nature of payment as payment under reverse charge and then put this entry. Okay. So once you put this entry, then you need to pass the journal entry again. To increase the input, if you want to take an input on the reverse charge, you need to pass this entry. So from start adjustments, GST increase of input tax credit, purchase under reverse charge I choose, and then we need to pass this entry. So till yesterday we have covered unregistered purchases also. Today we are going to start a new session which is going to be I'm creating a ledger called composition dealer. Under sundry creditors. Right? In registration type, I'm choosing composition here. Okay. If you have your GST number, you can put the GST number here. I'm not put anything on this. I don't have anything. Now, go to accounting voucher. F9 for purchase. Put a supplier invoice number. Then choose a composition dealer here. Choose a product. Once you choose this, can you see the difference? On the bracket, it automatically shows it is purchased from composition dealer. So when you purchase from a composition dealer, you cannot take inputs on this. Any doubts you can ask me? Repeat. When you purchase from a composition dealer, you cannot take inputs on this. So I've shown this new reference. I've saved this voucher. Any doubts you can ask me? It is a composition dealer. Composition dealer is a person who will pay his tax. He will pay his tax on the turnover for, he will pay the tax by 1%. Okay. So he will pay the tax, 1% of his tax will be paid. Okay. So this is what the purchase entry which you are going to make. So I have saved this voucher. Clear? Now you can have a look on the report how the composition dealer, what is how it goes and sits into the triangular report. So go to display, statutory reports, GST 3B. Okay. So if you can see this, eligible ITC, it is here 14,493 it shows. Value of exempt and nil rated and not GST inward supplies, it is 42,500 rupees it shows. Okay. Now if I press all F1 from here, whatever I've done, okay, whatever the purchases I made, this is going to be the reverse charge, net ITC available from a supplier under composition scheme, exempt and nil rated supply, it is 42,500 rupees. When you press enter, you can see the detailed thing is composition dealer purchase is 42,500. Clear? I'm just going a little slower. Yesterday I've got a feedback like I'm just going a little fast. So I will just go a little slow so that you people can easily raise the doubts and other things. Okay. So composition dealer, this is what the entry. Any doubts? You can ask me now. Any doubts you have? Can I proceed further? Okay. Fine. Now, I'll go to the accounting voucher now. Now you tell me, in our business, what normally we'll do is, we will have food expenses will be there. We'll be giving insurance, medical insurance will be there. vehicle insurance will be there. All these things will be happening in from our business transactions only. But some of the transactions like consumables, we can take inputs. But some expenses like food expenses or insurance, mediclaims, all these things, we cannot take inputs. It is an ineligible credit, okay, inputs. So what I'll do is I will put an entry, okay. So I will put a food expenses for you. Alt C, I'll create a some hotel. It is sundry creditors. So we can put some GST number or something and just save this. Here, I'm not going to put any inventory over here. I'm going to put an accounting entry. So what we have done is, come here, Alt C, I will create as food expenses, right? Direct or indirect. I'll put it on direct expenses. Clear? Now, from here, we'll say GST is applicable. Correct? And from here, set alter GST details. I'm not going to give anything over here. Nature of transaction is not applicable only. Here it's taxable. Here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say it is ineligible input credit. I cannot take inputs for this particular expenses. Clear? So what I will do, I will put it as yes. Then I will put my tax percentage as 5%. It is service. Any doubt you can ask me. The ledger which you have created is food expenses. Okay. All the way, whatever the expenses which you have created, whatever the ledgers I have created, I have not configured any tax percentage in the ledger level. But now for food expenses, I have configured the HSN code and the tax percentage in the ledger level itself, because the tax percentage and maybe if it is going to be an AC hotel, that becomes a 12% or something. I don't know about the taxes, but 5% minimum tax is there. So I have enabled that taxes there. Clear? Now my expense is going to be 5,000 rupees. Now you can see, okay, somebody is asking a doubt. Please hold it. I'll just come back. One sec. Yes, what is the doubt you have? Why are we using purchase voucher for expenses instead of JV? Okay, fine. Sir, sir, question is valid. The question is very simple. What question people are asking is, why are we using purchases instead of JV? Clear? If you're going to pass a JV entry, okay, number one, you're going to put all the tax percentage and everything is going to be manual. Correct? Number two, expenses booked. In some of the expenses which you are booking in your journal or any expenses for that business, which we are going to take in inputs, it is better to put it in purchase invoices than journal entry. Okay, because when we import the data, okay, there is a lot of softwares available for you to take the reconciliation and other things. If you're going to put it in purchases, the data will be smoothly imported, or we can easily export the data and import it into other softwares. Number one. Number two, wherever I am going to have my inputs, wherever I can take in inputs, it is always put it in purchase entry than a journal. In journal, whatever entry you're going to put, whatever the taxes you're going to put, everything is going to be manual. You are tend to make a mistakes, but when you configure it in the purchases, okay, before maybe prior to GST, you can all the expenses can be booked in your journal entry. But after GST, whatever the expenses are there, it is always advisable to put it in purchases than a journal entry. Okay, so what I have done is, which we have created a food expenses ledger. There I have configured the tax percentage and the we said that it is going to be ineligible input tax credit. So once I have given the option there, you can see the reports in this classification. Purchase taxable, it has come. Now you can see it is ineligible for input credit. Okay. Now the percentage and everything comes. Now I'll put my input. Now I'll put my input SGST. Now if you can see the tax analysis on the right hand side, I'm just clicking on this. The tax percentage and everything shows. Any doubts you can ask me. This is where we'll be checking whether my whatever I put, whatever the taxes I made, whether it's correctly sitting or not. Then new references, I've saved this voucher. Repeat. Okay, there is a doubt where we can use JV, sir. Sir, other than GST entries, other any adjustment entries can be made in JV, sir. Any GST entries, have you received any GST entries? Whenever you issue or whenever you receive any GST entries, it is better to put it in purchase invoice than a JV. JV is only for adjustments, not to book a purchases or not to book expenses there. You book your non-GST entries or adjustments in a journal entry. Clear? Okay. Now what I'll do is I will go to another session. We have covered two things. One is for composition. One is for ineligible credit. Right? Now, I will just tell you an example. Okay. Now we place an order. You can see we have placed an order from a local supplier for 10 printers for 8,500 rupees, right? Or you keep it in this way. We'll take interstate. Instead of this, we can take interstate, right? Now, on the way, my material got lost. Clear? My material got lost. Now we need to pass an entry for this. When the material got lost in transit, can we take inputs for that? But bills we need to pay. But when it lost in the transit, okay, or damaged, clear? In the transit, if the goods is lost, normally what you people are doing is, we will be taking the purchase invoices and we'll be taking the inputs. But normally you're not supposed to take inputs when the goods is lost in transit. So we need to pass an entry to reversal the input credit. Any doubts you can ask me? Any doubts you can ask me? You have to reversal the input credit. So how to pass this entry? Reversal of input credit. Okay. So now I'll show you. I'm going to take one product. For example, if I take A4 paper, okay, it is going to be 1,500 rupees. 5% tax. It is 75 rupees. 10 bundles I've got it. right? So what I'll do, I will just go to accounting voucher, F7. Now you tell me you have asked something where and all I can use my journal entry. Now I'm going to use the journal entry. With the help of start adjustments, I'm going to reverse the input credit which I've received. So what I've done, go to start adjustments, GST. I'm going to say reversal of input tax credit. What I'm going to say, it is going to be okay. I can have, I will just put it in others because the particular nature of adjustment is not shown here. I can put it in adjust others. Okay. So what I will do, I will create, I will create goods in transit or damage. Here it is under expenses. Okay. So I'll put it as not applicable. What is the value I'm going to have? I'm going to put 75 rupees here. Credit IGST. It is going to be 5% of 1500. Sir, any doubts you can ask me, sir. Now what I have done is I am going to reverse my input credit since my goods is lost or damaged. But since I need to pay the tax to the government, so I cannot see wherever my goods is lost or damaged, I'm supposed to pay to the supplier, but I cannot take inputs for that. So this is an entry you need to pass for this. So I've saved this entry. Now if you can see, go to display, statutory reports, GST and 3B. You can see this ineligible, press Alt F1. It will show ineligible here. It is ITC reversed. Any doubts? It is okay. Like, am I going fast or I'm okay with this? Fine. Sendil sir, நான் ஃபாஸ்டா போறேன் அப்படின்னா நீங்க எங்களுக்கு சொல்லலாம் சார். ஓகே, நீங்க ஃபாஸ்டா போற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா எனக்கு சொல்லுங்க, நான் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோ டவுன் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் நான். ஓகே, so any doubts on this you can tell me, sir. Fine. Any doubts you can ask me. Now what I have done is we have created reversal of input credit. How to create a reversal of input credit? Okay. Now what I will do, I will just go to new transaction call. We'll take a new transaction. I will give an example for rent. Okay. So I'm going to pay a rent to a landlord. The landlord has got a GST number as well as he has got a PAN details, everything he has got. So he is going to give us a rent bill. So how am I going to account that rent, including we are going to deduct the TDS for the particular rent entry. Clear? So what I will do, this is my supplier invoice number. Alt C from here to create a ledger called landlord under sundry creditors. Okay, I will put a GST number here. I will put one sample GST number for you. Okay. It is 33 AA CCT 4966 H 1 Z7. Clear? So I made this entry. So even this, what I will do, I will also enable my TDS here. Enable the TDS. I will say it is going to be individual resident. Clear? I am going to put the PAN card number AACCT 4966H. Right? Okay. Now I am going to create a ledger called rent. Clear? It is under direct expenses applicable. Then I will go to set alter GST details. I'm pressing yes over here. Clear? Now for SAC code for rent, I'm giving it. Then it's not a non-GST. I'm not giving any nature of transaction here. It is taxable and 18%. I am giving it in the ledger level. Clear? Okay. Now, one thing you need to look on. If there is any change in your tax percentage, if you want to alter the particular tax percentage here, you're not supposed to do it directly here. For example, I'll show you that. Now, TDS applicable, I'll just make it as applicable. On the right hand side, if you can see, it is list of nature of payment it shows. One is any, one is new category, one is undefined. What we are going to do is, we are going to choose new category. Once you choose a new category, on the right hand side, you can see there is something called helper. Click on the helper. You say rent of building and furniture. I will choose. It is clear. Any doubt you can ask me. I'm just going to put a percentage of tax. If you want to put a threshold limit, you can also put a threshold limit. Now I'm not putting any threshold limit. I've said this. Okay. Now, if you feel, okay, somebody is asking a doubt, please hold on. Okay. Now, if you feel my rent percentage is changed, clear? Percentage of tax is changed. From 18%, it becomes 12%, for example. What needs to be done is, you cannot directly go change it here. On the right hand side, we can see something called tax rate history. Just click on that. Now we can see applicable from 1st of April. It is set alter tax details. It is 18%. Clear? Now, from 1st of September 2020, if this going to be become, if it is going to be 12%, you have to put it like this. So both the dates should be appearing it. Otherwise, whatever the transactions you are making it on the previous date, when you change to applicable from, when you just go alter it here directly, the transaction made in the month of April, all the entries will go for a 6. So when you alter the percentage of tax, make sure that applicable from is given properly. Otherwise, the entire whatever the transactions or whatever the details you have done, everything will go for a 6. Okay. So any doubts you can ask this. So this is an example which I have given. Now we have created rent. I am putting a rent as say 15,000 rupees. Okay. Now you can see TDS nature of payment details automatically picks because we have already fixed in the ledger level. Now when you press enter, now the GST part comes. This is TDS portion. This is GST portion. Clear? Now after this, I'm going to put a TDS entry. For this, I'm going to create a ledger called TDS for rent under duties and taxes, TDS rent and building. So we have already created a category called rent and building. I've saved this. Now if you can see, automatically TDS is deducted. Normally what people will do is they will put the purchase entry or they will put all these expenses in journal entry and they will put a separate entry for TDS. All these things will be manually calculated. But when you are putting it in a purchase entry, it automatically calculates your TDS as well as your GST. Now if you can see this, the TDS is calculated, the GST is calculated. Now you can ask me a doubt whether the GST is calculated on the rent received or it is calculated rent minus TDS. It is calculated, GST is calculated on the base value of rent. Clear? If you have any doubts, on the right hand side, you can go to the tax analysis. Click on the tax analysis, you can see this. So it is calculated on the base value, GST. The rent is calculated on the base value. Clear? Somebody else asked the doubt? Okay. So this is the entry we're going to pass. Saved it. Any doubts you can ask me, sir. So what we have done is a small recap again. What we have done is we have created a landlord. Okay. We have created a landlord. We have also enabled the TDS portion. Deductive type is individual and resident we have chosen. TDS deducted in the same voucher. I made it as yes. Correct. I'm not given any specific thing. I've just shown all items here. Then we are putting a PAN or PAN number over here and his GST number. If you are not putting a PAN number here, Tally by default it calculates 20%. If you put the TDS PAN number there, then it calculates according to the percentage given in the category. Now, after the landlord been created, we have created a rent ledger. Rent ledger is under direct expenses. We have enabled the GST portion here. We have enabled the TDS portion here. The category is created with the help of Tally's default categories list. On the right hand side, there is something called helper. Just click on this. The nature of payments will show automatically. So choose that and put the percentage. You can also put a threshold limit and it automatically calculates based on the threshold limit also. Clear? Once you made this, the payment, the amount has been made. This is a TDS portion and this is a GST portion. Once you put this, then we have created a ledger called TDS for rent under duties and taxes. Under duties and taxes, nature of type of duty is TDS, nature of payment is rent and billing. Right? Like this, you can create n number of TDS ledgers. TDS for rent, TDS for contractors, TDS for professional. Like that, you can create n number of TDS ledgers can be created. Then input tax is created, or the GST is calculated on the base value. TDS is calculated on the base value. Okay. So we have saved this voucher. So you tell me any doubts on this? Can I proceed further? Okay. Now, how to pass a advanced TDS? Okay. For example, I am going to pay an advance to my landlord in the month of April. Correct? So what I'll do, go to accounting voucher, F5 for payment. Okay. On the right hand side, there is something called nature of payment. It is, you can see all these things which is related to GST here. It is related to GST. Okay. There is something called start payment, where you're going to put a payment entry which you have collected for TDS or which you have collected for GST. You need to pay an entry. So this is for start payments. So I'll show you that also for you. Now I'm going to pass an entry. I'm going to give an advance to my landlord. Bank entry. I'm going to choose my landlord and I'm going to pay an advance of 10,000 rupees here. I'm going to say it's an advance. Clear? Advance for rent. Say 10,000 rupees. Now, TDS for rent is calculated 1,000 rupees here. Please be careful enough. What we are trying to do is, I am paying an advance to my landlord for rupees 10,000 rupees. I am deducting my TDS. I am paying 9,000 rupees as check to my landlord. Any doubts on this? Now, next month by around 20th. Okay. For example, I'm going to press F9 for purchase. Now I'm going to change the date F2. It is 15/5/2020. My supplier invoice number. I'm going to choose landlord here. Control A. I'm going to put it as rent. Rent is 15,000 rupees. Clear? The TDS portion comes. The GST portion comes. Now, if you put the TDS for rent, you have to be very careful now. You will be getting the screen. A small menu will come. Okay. If you're going to skip this entry, it calculates the TDS for the full amount. Okay, so before going very fast, or if you do any data entry, when this screen comes, don't skip it. What you do is put yes, get into this. You can see a screen where first you choose my against reference here, choose the payment entry which you have paid as advance. Okay, balance amount is new reference. Can you see the TDS is calculated only for 5,000 rupees, not for 15,000 rupees, because we have paid an advance of 10,000 rupees. On that 1,000 rupees is already calculated. When I make my purchase invoice for 15,000 rupees, for balance for 5,000 rupees, TDS is calculated. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on this? Can I proceed? Now I save this voucher. Okay, there are some doubts. Let me check. Correct, sir. Okay, the doubt is, but we have paid the full rent. Understood. My rent is 15,000 rupees. Okay, my rent is 15,000 rupees. But last month, I paid an advance of 10,000 rupees for the month of May, not for the month of April. Please understand. Instead of paying my rent, I paid some advance money of 10,000 rupees to be adjusted for the month of May month. So I paid 10,000 rupees. I also deducted my TDS in the month of April itself. When I pay my May month rent, I am adjusting my existing payment. Clear? So here, if you can see this, my against reference, my advance of 10,000 rupees is adjusted, and the balance and new reference, what I will do, I will create, see, this is the value. Okay, so my balance amount will be 5,000 rupees. Okay, I'll just remove this entry and show you one second. I'll make everything as on account so that it will be, you can understand what I'm going to do. Now, if you see, I'm putting my against reference. I'm adjusting my 10,000 rupees here. Okay, I'm adjusted my 10,000 rupees. Next, new reference. What is my new reference I'm giving it? In new reference, what is the difference it shows? My total value of bill is 17,200 rupees here. Okay. Can you see this? Sir, any doubts you can ask me, sir, please. I'm not clear. Okay. Okay, I'll just come out from this. I've not saved that voucher. Okay. Okay. What I have done is I'll go to display daybook. This is the entry we have passed. Okay, this is the entry which we have passed now. I will remove this entry. I will show you the payment entry which we have done. This is the entry which I passed now. Okay. What I have done is I paid an advance. I paid rupees 10,000 rupees as advance to my landlord. This advance to be adjusted for the month of May month. Clear? I'm paying an advance of 10,000 rupees. My actual rent is 15,000 rupees. This amount has to be adjusted again 15,000 rupees for the month of May. Clear? So I have paid this money as advance. Now I'm going to put the purchase entry, right? Before that, what I will do, I will clear the last month payment entry also, so that it will be very clear for you. So what I will do, I'm going to pay the last April month rent. So what we can do is to make a payment, either go to accounting voucher, press F5 and clear the payment. First option. Second option, what you can do is go to display, go to accounts book, go to ledger, clear, choose your landlord here, choose your landlord. You can see the landlord. First one is we made a rental entry for the month of April. We passed a purchase entry here, but we have not paid any money for that. Okay, now I'm going to clear the April month. For this, what needs to be done is on the right hand side, you can see there is something called billwise. Can you see something called billwise over here? Click on the billwise. This is the amount it's pending. Okay, so I am going to clear my April month rent. So this is my April month rent. I've selected by clicking my space bar. Okay, you can see here, you can see on the below screen there, you can see space for select, control space for select all. So what I have done, I have clicked on space button. It is selected. One particular line has been selected. I am going to say bill settlement. Can you see on the right hand side there is something called bill settlement? Okay, this is the old feature only, but most of the people wouldn't have used this. Okay, so what I have done is I'm going to use bill settlement. Once I click on this, I'm going to settle the voucher now. I'm going to choose bank, rent for the month of April. Okay, now if I save this, automatically my bank voucher is posted. Now you need to just save this voucher. I've saved this. Clear? Now if you can see, I have saved the voucher. Any doubts you can ask me? Okay. Why it should not be kept it as separate ledger, namely rent advance accounts? Why should I have, sir? Why should I keep so much of ledgers? Why should I keep so much of ledgers? See, when you create a ledger, sir, okay, any ledger for that matter, okay, why should you have more ledger in your books? Why should you keep more and more ledger in your books? When you keep it as rent as advance, say advance rent or rent advance has been given to a particular person. But in that, what you will do, you will put a payment entry. What is the ledger you'll be choosing? You will be choosing only the rent advance, not the party. You cannot account to a party. To account to a party, you need to pass one more journal entry to do an adjustments. Here, I made one simple entry called where I have chosen the landlord and given a rent as advance. Okay, so what I have done, I made it as rent as advance. I am accounting to a particular person. In your case, you won't account a particular person. You will be accounting only to the ledger. You will say, I have given an advance. I have created a ledger called rent, advance rent, or rent as given as advance or something. After giving a payment to a rental, to a landlord, you will be adjusting that entry. Instead, I am calling the party. I am calling the landlord itself. I am giving the payment to the landlord. Once I've given the payment to the landlord, in landlord's ledger, you can see 10,000 rupees is shown as advance received. Okay. On the bill wise also, you can see on the right hand side, the bill wise, click on that. It will show you advance for rent. It is very clear. So you don't have to pass, you don't have to create too much of ledgers, sir. Don't create too much of ledgers. Try to minimize your ledgers. Your book should be crisp and clear, sir. Okay. So I have created an advance now. Okay. Now what I will do, I will put a purchase invoice for the month of May. Going to accounting voucher, F9, supplier invoice number, landlord. Okay. I will put it as rent, say 15,000 rupees. TDS portion, GST portion, then TDS for rent, TDS against advance payment, adjust against advance TDS payment. So we have already deducted a TDS for the rent. We have collected an advance. We are going to adjust the advance over here. So make it as yes. First choose your against reference. Then for balance amount, it is calculating. Any doubts? Then input CGST, input SGST. Now what I will do, I will choose against reference 10,000 rupees, new reference 7,200 rupees. Now we can see sir, any doubts you can ask me, sir. Even here, what you do is you need to pass 7,200 rupees. Okay. Annamalai sir, உங்களுக்கு கிளியரா இருக்கா? ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா கேட்கலாம் சார். அண்ணாமலை சார். Okay. So others, please ask me if you have any doubts. Okay. So what I will do, I will save this voucher. Others, please ask me any doubts you have. Can I proceed further? Okay. So I will show the ledger of a landlord. Display, accounts book, ledger, landlord. Okay. Sir, we have not made any payment entry for the balance amount. I have not shown anything here. Any doubts you can ask me, sir. If you can see the bill wise here. Why April month is only 16,500 rupees? Okay, let me check that entry. It is 16,500 rupees because TDS is 1,500 rupees, sir. $17,200 minus 1,500 it's taken, sir. Okay, okay. Your doubt is extra 500 rupees there. For 15,000 rupees, for 15,000 rupees, this 500 rupees has been deducted, sir. Tell me what is the question, sir? It should be, it should be, what is your question, sir? We have deducted 1,500 rupees TDS for the month of April. Monthly rental changing, sir. Okay. Monthly rental is changing. Let me check, sir. It is 15,500 rupees. No. Okay. 15,500. It is perfectly fine. This GST portion is perfectly fine, sir. And then what you are saying is for TDS, it takes 10,000 rupees there and 5,000 rupees, 500 rupees is deducted here. Okay. So 15,000 minus 500 is minus 500. It is 14,500 rupees. 14,500 rupees plus it is added this portion. Okay. So you mean to say it has to deduct? I don't think so. It is. No. No, sir. It is calculating. Yes, it will calculate even on the advance payment also. It is calculating, sir. Because my rent is 15,000 rupees. When I pay my advance, there we are not deducting, we are not calculating any GST. So what I have done is we've only deducted the TDS portion, and then we have just come out with the purchase invoice. In purchase invoice, for entire 15,000 rupees, the tax has been calculated. GST is calculated. No GST, no, sir. It is calculated, sir. If you can see this, if you can see the tax analysis here, it is calculating for 15,000 rupees only. It is calculating for 15,000 rupees only, sir. It is calculating for 15,000 rupees only. But as you said, my last month entry, it is only 16,200 rupees. Why it shows 17,200 rupees? That's your question, right? When giving advance rent, GST is there. Yes, it is there. If rent is 15,000 rupees per month, then TDS should be 1,500 rupees per month. But in the example, that is, TDS is not made on advance. Sorry, sir. That's why I said you can see this transaction here. The first portion, okay, the first portion is we have already deducted the TDS for 10,000 rupees in the last month itself. Since it is deducted in the last month, okay, we are not again deducting the TDS over here. Understood, sir? Since we have deducted the TDS in the last month itself, we are not deducting the TDS again here. So TDS is calculated only for 5,000 rupees, not for the entire 15,000 rupees. Okay. Any doubts, sir? Because we need to close the session now. Okay, you think Sir, you can work this in your place and get back to me. I will again do the same in the next class tomorrow. Okay, with this we are ending of the session today. Tomorrow we'll start with this again and show we'll work on this again, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sir, others, if you have any doubts, please call me. My number is 99406 44753. It is 99406 44753, sir.